So today I wanted to take a real quick look at a verse that I actually see misquoted like quite a lot. It is in First Thessalonians 4:13. It says, and I'll read from the CSB. We do not want you to be uninformed, brothers and sisters, concerning those who are asleep, so you will not grieve like the rest who have no hope. And he's talking about people who have people who were believers who have died, and he's trying to encourage them and whatnot. But here's the thing that is usually, not usually, but is oftentimes, taken out and kind of warped by these super Christians is the idea that we should not be sad when someone dies. And so what happens is there'll be someone who loses someone, and they'll be going through the grieving process, and somebody will try to make it where, I don't know, make them feel better maybe or something by basically teaching repression. Don't deal with it. Don't even think about it. Just pretend it doesn't exist. You're not supposed to be crying and being sad and all this different stuff. And it's like, that's a drastic misuse of what Paul is actually trying to say. He's trying to give them hope, knowing what's coming. He's not saying, hey, you shouldn't feel sad. Rather, he's saying sadness won't have a final say in this, because we have good news, we have hope that comes, right? So whereas there will be a time of weeping, we know that weeping won't be for forever. Okay, and another verse that kind of, I think, clarifies a little bit is Romans chapter 12 verse 15. It says, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep." How would you possibly weep with somebody if they're not allowed to actually process their emotions? They're not allowed to feel them. They're not allowed to be human. Furthermore, how can Paul, out of one corner of his mouth, say, hey, weep with them who aren't actually supposed to be weeping, but don't weep? What? You can't have both things. And so I see a lot of times these people, I guess they're meaning well, I don't know, but they cause more harm than anything. Trying to quote this verse as a means of stop the grieving process, and that's just nonsense. That is just nonsense. So that has been the closer look, looking at 1 Thessalonians 4:13. Typically, as a general rule, I like to have this idea that being a Christian shouldn't mean that I get to excuse acting like a jerk. So if I see somebody crying because they just lost somebody, probably it doesn't sound very Christian to be, making them feel worse about already losing somebody that they were close to.